Hello, this is Vulturefire. Last video I failed with Spellweave Nayema. The hope this time is to win with Spellweave Nayema. Step one is, of course, figuring out how to improve the starting deck. I think one of the points here is that, like, 2x Read the Skies, I don't think that was necessarily the right play. The other thing is, I'm honestly uncertain if we want to be playing around 0 mana. I think we need to be... I think we want to have more mana on hand. Right? Because I want to be able to... I want to be able to play... So, if we're looking at spells, I think Drain Life is a reasonable inclusion. It's a good Starfall target. It does good damage. It's a good Starfall target, and it does stuff at end of turn, if it's in hand at end of turn, which is nice. Gives us some healing. I don't think we need to steal elements necessarily. I think, like, these two are so good that it feels bad to cut them, but for the moment, they're gone. I think Assisted Spell can stay. I think Runic Armor has to go. Okay, I do go back up to 2. Okay, so I think I do need a different shield card if I'm petting Runic Armor. One thing is that I definitely want Prophetic Focus here. Although, can lead to some awkward early turns. So Prophetic Focus has a couple of advantages for us. One is that it helps us set up the thing that we're doing. It helps us set up Starfall. The other advantage is it just is a lot of mana. One day I really likes using Predict. I'm not totally sold, but we can try it. Especially if we're not going to be playing around 0 mana. So we need, I think Ramparts makes a lot of sense as a shield card here. It's a card that tends to do pretty good work. Nayema tends to play a decent number of cards. I'm considering going back up to the second Read the Skies, but it doesn't directly help with all of our problems. We also are a little short on mana boost right now. And Magic Armor, I guess. Magic Armor might be what we're looking for. I don't know. We would need, if we put Magic Armor and we put, but the thing is, we really want Pocket Sand to go with it. We'll try it. I do want, I think, a weak source. Although that does put us at above however many cards. Just put us at 13 cards if I put in a weak source. We don't have a cleanse right now. We are a lot lower on Spellweave sources. We'll try that list, I think. As far as this goes, let's see what... I think step one is to just check, like, spells that we're not running that we could be. If we go Incan Ritual, we can use this. I don't like Ada Spell right now. It is changing in next patch, but it isn't changed yet. Renewing Ray is probably okay, but I don't think it's amazing. Runic Bolt seems fine. I don't know. I don't think we have the wits to support it, really. Sorcerer's Discretion is a card I usually like. The other option here is that, like, we retool pretty substantially into a put card on top of deck type list. But that would be a pretty substantial rethinking of the whole list. So I don't know that that's what I want to do. We'll try this again. See if those changes did anything. The problem is if Hunt is active on Drera, if we get to Drera and Hunt is active on Drera, I find the permanent opportunists on Drera so crushing. I do find Idol of Corruption also obnoxious, but okay. Endurance we can pretty easily overcome with whatever. There's artillery is very good with us for Spellweave, so I think we go here. I don't know between these two. Valley Guardians, I guess, could give us Rune, technically. I don't really care about the other card. Ruby Dragon, I care about a ton about. Wildstorm does give us Lightning Call. Command Lightning does actually work well with whatever. As far as idle cards go, I don't know. Okay, Sublime Blast is a very good, has a lot of potential, let's say. I don't think that does anything for us, but I'm happy to take it and then hope that we find something to do with it. We're going to go through here, and then maybe we hit here and try and get like a group focus. Ooh, I think we might go through Sleegay and see if we can manage Sleegay. We don't have any cleanse, so that might be a non-starter. But if we can beat Sleegay, I think there's some potential there. I did not decide to keep the Pocket Shield, the Pocket Sand, and I immediately regret it, which is basically par for the course. These guys still spit out a kind of obnoxious amount of trash. All right, we can Starfall here. Ideally, we'd like to draw one card before we Starfall, but there's no way for us to do that. Because, yeah, doing that, although not really worth that much. I don't think playing that is worth much. You have plenty of wets. But yeah, like I said, our actual Spellweave stacking is pretty limited. So much fucking trash in this fight. We're up to 3 trash cards already, which with a 12 card starting deck means that 1/5 of our draws are trash. Okay, we're getting that out of hand. That's out of hand, so we're getting it out of hand. Because it's getting out of hand. Alright, there we go. That worked out fairly cleanly. We're not well positioned to use the copy part of Future Sight, but that is a lot of Spellweave, and we don't have much Spellweave, so there you are. Huh? Let's go with that. Said it wasn't quite worth saving, whatever. Definitely regretting not having Incan Ritual to some extent, but like, it's so hard to fit all the pieces in. But Incan Ritual is so good that there's a very good argument to be made that it just should be in the list. That I should just try to find, I just have to find a way to make space for it however I can, because it's so good that not having it is unjustifiable. Warp. So I discard 2 cards. I get to draw a Sublime Blast. Which means that doesn't quite do as much as I was hoping. Let's go ahead and get that out. I think there's no point in taking that damage, this damage here, when it's avoidable. I should definitely have put in more put cards on top of deck cards. Not doing that was a mistake. Hopefully it's a mistake that we can recover from. Alright, this works out pretty well. Do not love all that bleed, but we do at least get the freeze, which is something. We're up to 44% extra damage, which is enough to offset whatever. Can we Sunbolt for enough? Not quite. Yeah, Pocket Sand would make this, I think, flow more smoothly. Let me just put that on top because I don't actually want it. I don't actually want to lose a card. Alright, that's nice place to end turn. Oh, right. The other thing that not having Pocket Sand does is it means that evasion is a lot more of a problem. So we can't just sand it off. Although, this works. All of the bits. We should be able to just Sunbolt here. Lose a little bit of health if we don't get shield, but technically the correct play here is to play that and take an extra turn, but I'm lazy. Oh no, because the Ramparts covers the bleed. We're good. Never mind. Just kidding. Optimal play detected. That is cleanse. That is going to be super useful going into that fight. We have changed path. I think there was no real way to avoid that. I do still want to go up and get artillery, so keep getting this in the opening hand, which is so awkward because the opening hand in Moon Stance, which is awkward because Moon Stance is the only stance where we can't get a spell out of the whatever card. All right. Make sure you're dead. Get all the wisps we could ever need. This guy does new AoE attacks on this difficulty, which is convenient for us. Would like a cleanse. Not as much damage as I would like. We can do this. That gets rid of several weaknesses. And get damage. Goodbye. I should have tried to get out the heal card. Battle Glory is still great. Very happy to see that. I don't see us stacking a bunch of Mighty, so. Cellar? Sure. One of these days I should actually keep a list of all of the different pieces you can get in each area. Pretty sure even without any particular reason to do that, it's worth doing it just for the 6 growth. It's just 3 extra mana every turn. I think that's the one we actually want to play most. Because we just are trying to get... Because we just need to do a lot of setup here. So that will cost me a total of 5 mana. The question is whether Sunbolting is worth it. I think we're just doing this. Alright. I had another card of the deck that gets this mana boost. What was it? Right. I'm very smart. I guess I just do that twice. May as well do that. I don't think it's going to be another turn where it's more directly useful. So much damage reduction. So this is now only... That now pays for itself partially. I don't know why I even bother doing that for the wits, because we have plenty of wits. We have wits at home. Sunbolt is getting closer to being worthwhile. So that takes us to 11 mana, which doesn't leave us with enough to really do anything. Oh. I think that was worth it. We are up to over 100% damage bonus, so it's as though every hit were to a shocked enemy, which is not enough, but that is conveniently enough to turn that on, which means that's on. Always with the poison blood. But we're not actually losing any health this fight, which means this list is going quite a bit better than the last one. Goodbye. So we now have Durable, but we also have enough defense that... Well, it's not completely fair to compare them straight up, because we have obviously gotten some specific cards that we didn't have last time. But that's worth it. Starfalling right now freezes us, which obviously massively reduces the utility of it. But it's actually worth doing that. Get a little bit of extra tough, even if it's not much. I should have gotten mana out with Beseech the, I should have Beseeched to the Moon. We're gonna Starfall. Yeah, let's just do that. 16 damage out of a base 5 damage. Sure. You're at like 170% extra damage. And then Sunbolt. This is not actually that good for it, even though like it's a spell. It has this problem where it is it's 1 base damage. That seems... I want to try it in this list. Because if it's not good in this list, that's a very important thing to know. That going to 0 cost is still very good. Gets plus 4 damage and spell weak 5. I think we're just going to do that, actually. Get all that bonus shield. We're not going to cut anything because we want artillery. This is not a great artillery deck because we don't have the pocket cards. I'm still going to take it, to be clear. But I wanted to state for the record that I am aware going in that I have made a terrible mistake. I'm just not going to let that stop me from making a mistake. So unfortunately, this doesn't count as drawing the card, so we don't get the bonus. But I got my mana boost, and that's what really matters, right? Sure. There we go. Let's get some shield up. See, star falling is unhelpful right at this moment. Let's go donk and donk. Go ahead and cleanse off because we can. Your fortress ranks mean nothing to us because we have like over 100% damage boost, so we massively beat fortress. Especially because, like, when we're in Sunstance, we get another 30% on top of that. But we take 50. It's awkward that that actually does conflict with whatever. Oh, right. Draw one more card this way. Let's go bonk, bonk, bonk. Yeah. Rude. How dare you? Just massacring my entire squad. Like it was nothing. See how you like it. No way to get enough spell, whatever. Oh, we only take some damage here. And we froze. Hooray! Which unfortunately means that it didn't shred its own shield. Which it would have done otherwise. Alright, let's put that on top. Let's Starfall. Here we go. Love me a Void Hardened skin. Love me a Serene Belt for compensating for mistakes. Don't need that right this moment. I don't really want to Starfall either, although I am fine with doing this. Just mostly for the spell wave. I'll do that for the top, mostly. Although, I guess the top was kind of silly when we already knew that we were at. Well, it's fine. Not even the heroic recovery is a little awkward. We do explode if we play this. Are we okay with that? Yes? It's like, if we do explode, we do get to... Well, no, because I messed up the mana for that. No. So just do that. And now here comes the problem turn. Do get to draw cards by playing this. However, we don't get to deal with that jerk, really. But that's the best we can do, so that's what we're doing. Summon dies. So, this guy is going to attack again next turn. That's just how this cycle works now. Right. So here's the fun thing. We do not have a way to get weak out. That's the fun thing. No, wait, that's not fun. It's not fun at all. It's the opposite of fun. For us, at least. So I want to play this. Playing that doesn't... just gets the shield. The evasion doesn't help a ton. So we could play that. I think we just do this. Plus that. Maybe at least, like, largely mitigate the incoming damage here. As best we can. Fortunately, we only explode one time. So, that's pretty nice. And we have the ramparts, which is going to which is going to do slightly more than counteract the bleed. Should have played that, but too late now. I do still like having that dead. Now we only have one problem to deal with. And we have a couple turns to deal with it. I mean, we have like one turn to deal with it before it attacks it again. But hey, it doesn't hit that hard. I mean, relatively speaking. I'm not saying I'm thrilled with this, of course, but... We're gonna do that. So I can Starfall for a Sanctuary. I don't know if that was worth it, but I do like having 120% pain output. It's not a good enough Sunbolt. That's what we got, so. We at least get the wits, although we lose it immediately. Wait a second. Didn't we upgrade that? No, that was last run. Sorry. Losing my mind. Possibly also losing my sight. I wish somebody would tell me I'm fine. There we go. There we go. And like we lost no max recoverable once you include the forge, which is still very good. Artillery seems fun. I don't know if it's correct, but it seems fun, so it's what we're taking. I, in fact, go so far as to say that it's probably not correct because of whatever. I don't know that we need the drain life at this point. I'm giving enough other expensive cards. Sure. Oh, we have to do this fight? Oh. So let's say Starfall. I didn't expect it to be that effective. Mirror Blast was okay last time. It's a little unexciting. It is relatively cheap, which is nice. I think we'll take it. Okay. This one should be fun. I don't know, like, I really want to play this. That was a temporary copy. In my head, we were going to get to play it twice. Well, whatever. I definitely should have tried to get that growth out, because that's our only growth source. Yeah, the fact we don't have a way to get rid of this trash is annoying, because they're going to keep spamming out trash. I do really want to draw a card. Because I want to get that. I want to have this in hand. Because I really want to get it transformed ASAP. Especially since we're going into Moon's Dance, and so having transformed enables some stuff. I don't love that they again have all this temporary evasion. Because we still just don't have great ways to deal with it. That's fine. We'll figure something out. But it does mean that we can't kill this guy, for example. Like, there's no point even stripping away that evasion because it's temporary. So we're just going to do that for the spell weave, mostly. Please fucking stop. God damn. Because that's 3 for 3 on... can't really use that. It's quite an unfortunate turn. Guess I can use that. Hopefully this turn will actually be permitted to attack whoever. Because it has a lot of powerful because we haven't been able to attack it. It's a pretty good way for the powerful to get used up. Or for the shock to get used up. Okay. So close. So far. That's very unfortunate. We were so close to getting that kill. Hopefully this turn. There's that fucking evasion again. God damn. It is brutal how often these guys throw up evasion. There just is not an answer, really. I strips opportunist, but I think it's worth it. Finally get that growth. Oh, it doesn't actually trip opportunist, I just thought it did. That would trip opportunist though, so that's not happening. But yeah, I'm going to end up having to restart this and just not play that on turn 1, because I had no way to know that we were never going to be able to kill it. I just did not know it was possible that we would get blocked out this hard. Okay, we have a chance. This has to go away. Oh, but we're not actually going to be able to play enough cards this year. Our one hope here was to be able to play enough cards, and we can't. Alright, well, it's frozen. Okay, now we can kill it. Idols did it if we even did it for us. Hooray. Thank God. Jesus Christ, the amount of trash in this fucking fight. I was not prepared for this much trash. Yeah, I think we may do that shield. So we're going to get the growth, and then we're just going to lose the last point of growth that we need. It really doesn't want its artillery to do anything, huh? Oof, I didn't think about that. I guess we at least get to prevent some incoming here. I guess the other nice thing is that it did lose the shock that it had when it flipped. Or the power that it had when it flipped. So this will not quite freeze us. We do explode, but got 2 phases down. Oh, this is a pretty good turn to do this. The sheer amount of trash cards here is just overwhelming. If we draw a spell, we draw a Sublime Blast. That seems good. Okay. We're gonna get shocked here, but I guess technically we do have kind of an out here. Which is that these we can play. For whatever that's worth. If we draw a card, we end up drawing a trash again, which... Let's pop you. Still does way more damage than I would like because of the shock, but you don't actually die. Although Hunger, I think, can punch us out to... Okay, nope. Hunger cannot punch us to death, apparently. Yeah. Okay. Really like to play that, but we can't, because if we do, we die. And needless to say, we cannot afford to die. Dying kills us, is what I would say. Kind of regretting cutting the, whatchamacallit, the drain life. Yeah, we have to restart this. Just because, like... Alright, this should kill... Yeah. So you can go away. I can kill you, but I can't kill you. So I guess you? Oh, I can't even kill you, I just get close. Alright, well that one's dead. we can do this twice, which seems okay. Or, sorry, we can do this twice. Actually do. You're dead. One problem left. See what we draw? Not expect as much. So I get for not starfalling. Okay. Goodbye. That will let us deal with trash, thank God. That's great. We're absolutely gonna take this. Just gonna do good work. I'm gonna stick with it. I know that it's not doing good for us right now, but I'm gonna keep being a believer. I don't know that I'm a believer in the Mystic Shadow Blast. I think the Shades have too much potential downside for this deck right now. I don't think we can take the risk is the point. And just take the extra health. And then Hardened Will is probably okay. Dawn Broodmother got buffed this patch again, which scares me a little. Although this fight always scares me, so we're gonna go here. After that last fight, I don't really want to deal with idols. I just want to be able to relax. Is that so much to ask? Alright. We're gonna get that up. It's gonna make life easier on us. We're gonna get some wits. We're not going to explode. We're gonna lose our summons, but that's fine. It's fine. We get to play that. We're just gonna give us some growth from both parts of it. This ends up drawing a card that we don't super want to draw right this moment. I just want to discard this. See that? But yeah, regretting not having the pocket cards. Which, no one is surprised. Let's go cut that. I think that has to go. Because here's the plan. We start by tagging that. And then... So, this upgrade is getting nerfed 100% because right now it's like +4 mana because you get... It upgrades all of the caches, which means that they then cost no mana. We're going to get that, and now we have a lot of value out of applying curse to things. I was really actually hoping to see the gunk again. You can just delete something. Goodbye. You have been judged unworthy. May as well do this. Right. Let's see. Start rolling into that seems pretty okay. Oh, whoops, that shocks us. Which is a thing that I could have prepared for if I was not a dum-dum. Unfortunately for us, I am a dum-dum, so we're going to eat a lot of damage here that we didn't have to eat. This was avoidable. Okay. getting that tiny bit of healing. Oh, I think a lot of the smaller enemies in this area did get buffed this patch. So that's a thing that happened. So that happened. Sorry, I apologize. I have a terminal case of internet brain. I mean, that's a way to get mana boost. Which would be nice. Hunt is also nice. I think we take the mana boost. Probably regardless of what happens here, we're taking the idle card. Don't love that. All right. Let's go. Curse. I like to get the frail out on everyone. It's not actually that useful. Just get more of that. Let's go. Curse on you. Curse on you. Debuffs on everyone. And I think we cleanse to get rid of the arcane weakness. And we eat some beats here, but I hopefully don't eat too bad. Don't get beat too bad. Yeah, that's fine. Healing from the leech doing pretty okay work. Can't actually get the value that I need out of this, but I never claimed to be smart. Okay. Okay. So we don't have any sturdy, but we are also very quickly drowning in crystallize, which is quite obnoxious. Our scaling cannot keep up with theirs. Which, being honest, don't love. That helps, although, you know, it only does so much, and then we hyper explode, which is not great. Our only saving grace here is that we were able to get rid of one of the arcane weaknesses, but wow, this is hurting. I underestimated. I don't know how I mentioned underestimate this fight again, because like this is a fight that I know is difficult. Because it killed me in a previous run. Actually, They're going to cleanse, which means that the leech is a lot less valuable than it is in my head. Pitch that, pitch that. Okay. Messed up. I needed to play that out. Okay, no, it's still fine. I can go with that into that. It's not fine. I don't have the mana I need. In my head, well, I can still do this. It's just, that's not what I was wanting to do. So I can get rid of that. And we are going to get a lot of shield out here, which is nice. We're going to apply Crystallize because we can actually, or an Arcane Weakness so we can abuse it. Just pop everyone. And it's just value across the board. Alright. That's not great, but with how much Crystallize we have, it barely registers. Alright, we can... Alright, I've got a plan. Plan is Starfalling. In my head, I was Starfalling more than once here. That's absolutely not how that shakes out. Oof. Yeah. So much damage. And we just explode and die here, right? No, not quite. Wow, this fight is, yeah, way more of a nightmare than I thought it would be. And we can't build any spell weave, really, because we keep exploding. Which is, I would say, not how we would like the fight to be going. Okay, I have to do this first. Because as painful as it is, the alternative is death. As we previously discussed, death, not an acceptable outcome. Should have saved that for next turn. Oof. Okay, yeah, see, that's what I get for playing that early. All right, we take... Okay. Play that just in case something screwy happens. So we don't have a ton of margin for error here. Starfalling isn't super valuable to us right now. The spell we draw is assisted spell, which I don't think is that valuable. That is not enough damage, but let's see what we can make happen. Right, I need to discard this before I get the temptation to play it, because playing it explodes us, which would be bad. I don't think that does anything, but I'm going to try it. Okay, that does actually get us a detonation. That's very good. Because that gets us so close to that kill. Unfortunately, so close to that kill is not that kill. I think that that is the kill. And this fight has been, overall this run has just not gone great. So this is, whatever the correct Spellweave deck is, this is not it, I think. We are too slow and we don't have enough of the pieces that I think make for an effective whatever deck. I'll take a second one of those. That's probably better. We obviously do need to rest. We don't have anywhere near enough ways to get rid of trash in this fight. So that's going to be a problem. And the shock is going to be obnoxious. And that jerk can eat our sturdy. I really want to get that out. It gives us a lot of mana boost out. Alright, there's a decent chance we can get this lightning call set up, which is nice. Yeah, we can definitely set this lightning call. We just do that. Lightning call is online. Doesn't do us that much, but you know, I'll take it. And this is just low enough basic incoming damage that we don't have to worry too much. Our summon does die, but we knew that was going to happen. Yeah, Purity's annoying. Let's get rid of Purity. Also, this will also pretty effectively shred Purity. Yep, there goes all of the Purity. Wait. Oh, because the Fortress reduced it to 0. Should probably just focus on the curse. Wow. Love it. So I get shocked if I do this, but I think I'm fine with that. Realize now that I've made a terrible mistake. Okay. That worked out okay. So much trash though. Pitch that so I don't get tempted to use it. There's those, which are still super obnoxious. Now we get more shock. Fortress is nice. You start upgrading the Void Hardened skins, I think. I was gonna get some mana back, but it won't get us any cards. But that works this turn. Ooh. And that means that getting Curse out is particularly valuable. Sure. Let's get some arcane out here. Alright, unfortunately, the way this checks out means that we do not get the Super Doom. Or don't get the Doom proc immediately, but it doesn't matter because... Bye. I mean... When you have a card that's this busted... Pass, I think? Definitely putting the Umbral Rights. I think we cut... Maybe this is assisted spell at this point. This fight could be a pain in the butt. I don't hate having it crystallize though. That's how much trash these fights can put out. Yeah. So much crystallize. I think we're doing that. Oh, that was a little awkward. I was throwing whether it causing problems. Oh, the bigger problem is, of course, all this crystallized stacking. Alright. Oh, they're all cleansing this turn. Doing that is kind of a waste. I do like doing that though. Just go and do that, I guess. Even if it does waste the shock. Oh, we may as well do that, I guess. guess the Frail at least does something. Alright, so we don't have any wits. I guess that's the main problem of getting rid of that other thing, is that it means that our wit generation is really trash. It's not really trash, it's more trash than I like. But I don't have any mana boost now. So I thought it was I could do this into that, but that doesn't work. I'm not just not playing this. We get rid of that. And then we can just transform one of them for all the value. Let's curse you. Now we can blow you up. We'll do that because that is happening this turn. Let's get out, I guess, curse on you. I think we are going to take enough damage here to justify that. Yeah. Unfortunately, we drew both of our transforms on turn 1, so there was nothing we could do about whatever. And we're absolutely going to chuck ourselves into shock barrier here. Because we are going to Starfall. 4 value. Alright. Look at all this fucking trash. God damn. Just gonna do that. You're still gonna die. Starfalling is low value right now. We don't have the wits for the other thing. So I think we're just going to do that. Right. Oof. So we draw 1 card here, and we know what it's going to be. Still worth it. Oh, because we got lucky and we did roll the odds on whatever. Okay, so we take some damage here, but it could be a lot worse. Alright, we got a 1 in 3 chance that the lightning call does something. And a 100% chance of getting flooded with friggin' trash. God damn. Please stop. I think I can kill you. Naturally, that one also creates trash. Okay. So we're going to transform that. We're going to do that. Get that. We need a gunk. We need curse, sure. That's going to blow you up twice, which is going to make life a bit easier on us. That will at least mean that we can't get critical. Okay, so good news is this one is going to die at an turn. The bad news is it is summoning a goddamn replacement. And we can't easily get rid of it. That's the bad news. Played that twice. That doesn't do anywhere near as much damage as I would like. I think, honestly, it would be better if I just Starfold here. And then... Alright, I got lucky there. Okay, well, at least the crystallized spam is over. I'm not even really scared about getting shocked at this point. Right, we didn't have enough space in hand because I'm a dumb, but... You know what? We're doing that, because we can. Alright, we made it out of that without taking too much actual damage. But we absolutely need to reroll and take this crystallized, because holy shit, the trash spam. We don't have the powerful sighting that we need for this, but I'll take the fight anyway, because I think it's going to be a low-stress fight overall. Love to see that. Like I said, low stress fight. I also think just like stacking curse seems reasonable here. Although I should get frail out or leech out for a little bit of healing. So we get back some mana for that. God, this fight is so chill relative to, alright. Alright, let's, see how much Stardix we can. Pop you? This fight is just so chill. I love it. I really love how chill this fight is. That's fine. It's gonna. Sure, we'll summon a friend. Why not? Another friend. Why not? Curse. Oh, whoops. Alright, didn't finish throwing out all my junk yet. It's actually pretty great. It's a whatever target. Is it Starfall, Sunfall target? Starfall target? Words? We'll do Starfall again because we can. Alright, fight's basically over. I know that we had weather active in the last fight, but that's still just nowhere near enough to... We can't actually get mana boost and wit simultaneously most of the time, but I think we still want that. That doesn't do anything, really. I think we like having the growth. I think we want Battle Glory Plus. Although upgrading the Fortress cards also very good. Alright, Starfalling doesn't do much good. It's just such an awkward hand. What spell are we going to draw? Artillery? Not super great. Alright, so I can do that and get the artillery. I can get enough value out of this to justify it. Oh, right, I get that copy that I can't actually really use. Oh, it's fine. Oh, we got a mana boost, right? Because of the thing that I did. I don't remember which thing we did, but you know, one of them. Still gonna do that, even though I probably shouldn't. Okay, so at this point, it's worth doing this because it gets out 2 trash and it ensures that we have whatever. Alright, these guys got buffed this this patch. They're slightly stronger than they were. I still think they are relatively tame. So Umbral Race is the next card, so if we do that, we'll have it set up for next turn. And we may as well do that because we are going to explode here. We can Starfall, although I don't love playing that. Alright, we're gonna do that. So get rid of. So we're going to take some damage here from burn ticks. but it could be a lot worse. All right. Thank you, Crystallize, for existing. Boop. Let's go, I guess, set that up. All right. Honestly, we may as well just let's split that guy up. That's fine. I think it's worth it. That gets rid of the shock for no damage, which means that the other hits are going to do significantly less. Seeing what one day was up to. Oh, consuming incantation spam. So the list that I'm not actually playing right now. It's a list that I've played a lot, but it's not the list that I'm currently playing. I think I'm just gonna top that. Not able to get an amazing turnout here, but that's fine. We get one detonation, which is manageable. And then we just have to make sure that we just need a starfall for any number above 0, and we're good. Although obviously I would like to do better than that if I can. Because now I can starfall for Future Sight, which seems a lot better. Oh, we don't get the copy because... Oh, no, we do. We just don't get... that's the thing I was thinking of. Get Arcane out. Okay. We did burn tick, but some minor concern. You can go away. Oh, we don't have enough space in it for the trash. Let's apply all of those. Let's... Oh, we have plenty of arcane weakness on it already. Let's get Curse out for the extra value. And let's blow you up like twice. Take away all your buffs. You don't need them. You're just going to do unfriendly things with them, so. Humble Rights Plus is pretty good. Slow Ramp is good. I want this Ritual of Runes, though. I should take a Slow Ramp because it's... Slow Ramp takes thinking to use effectively. And, well, you know my position on thinking. If you don't know my position on thinking, by now you should. Right, now we hope that this doesn't do too much to us. Because there's just no way to know what it's going to what our... Alright, shock is okay, I think. It could be a problem, but... Oh god, I hate having these back-to-back sticky goo turns where it's just like 2 turns are gone. Fortunately, not a ton of threat coming out this turn. Can't use that. If we do this, we get shocked again, which I don't want. Should honestly just get that out. Sorry about that. And obviously part 1 break. If it wasn't obvious yet, part 1 break after this fight. Yeah, so that is a little more damage than I was hoping to see. Definitely doing this. Getting rid of that is the priority because it's the card that we can't, just whatever. I think we just want to get that out. Ooh. I mean, even without the ability, even without any curse, I think we still want to do that. Alright, there go all of your runes. Try to make life much easier. Go do that. And that for good measure. Alright, so we don't completely get rid of the shock. We get rid of 1 rank of shock here, which is still going to make it life easier, although we are still shocked for this turn, which is not great. We can Wood Hardened Skin twice. I've got trash on top of the list. Oh, we can force a shuffle by doing this. Should have checked. Fix that. Do that to clear out the whatchamacallit. Alright, that is not anywhere near as much damage reduction as I would like, but that's what we've got, so. Hopefully we can avoid getting shocked again. What was the other card I discarded there? Yeah, it was Sanctuary. Yeah, I'm a dumb. Sanctuary is the other card I need here. The problem here is I'm guaranteed to be shocked regardless of what I do here. So I'm better off getting shocked this turn. Because next turn is going to hurt a lot more. But yeah, there is still this problem where it's like, there's not a ton I can do to deal with the overcharged. Although, being dumb and just discarding the whatchamacallit last fight was obviously a pretty significant own goal. Rip. I was hoping I was gonna... I messed up my planning there. This thing I was gonna be able to actually get through whatever without. Oh, I didn't even think about the fact that I was going to be able to play that again. Please don't shock me again. I'm actually happier with that than I'm getting shocked. Because now we only have to deal with one turn of being shocked instead of two, although going to be punished here for not going other stance. The spell that we can draw into, we don't know. So we're doing that. What are we going to draw from this? Umbral Rights, sure. Although, we can't actually play it here. Or we could, but it would be very dangerous. Bordering on suicide. Fortunately, we can't play the other one either. I think we still have to get rid of that. This is... Oof, and then we get shocked again, right? Yeah, that's... The inability to avoid getting shocked here is what is killing us. And it's... A lot of it is down to... Okay, that was life-saving. That wasn't anything we did. That was just luck that saved us. But yeah, I find corruption to be a frustrating enemy to fight because there are so many fights in this game where it's like, if you get shocked, you're in trouble. And corruption can just mean, oh, there was nothing you could do about that. You are now shocked. And I don't like... I don't like being put in a losing position for reasons that are not my own dumb mistakes, you know? So we get frozen before we can get the detonation off here, which sucks. But yeah, so close to getting that kill. You're not exactly dead, which, not my favorite. If we draw a spell, it will be unknown. I'm still willing to risk it. Whoop. Worth it. Alright, we get started chipping away at that powerful. Right, we aren't shocked, but God, Umbral Rights is so ridiculously mean when we need to play. Yeah, because we're just gonna die here, and we can't play the card that would save. We couldn't have used the card that would have saved us because it would have killed us. Maybe at least. Yeah, I think this run is trash. Not trash. I think this run is ill-fated. Let's say. messed up on which one I played there. The problem is, like, now we need to get this kill before it... Yeah, this deck feels like kind of a non-starter. Obviously, some of it is like how I put the deck together. But also, it just feels like this is a slow deck that is not... just not doing what it needs to be doing. Like, a lot of it is like we aren't getting the kills anywhere near fast enough. And that is a lot of what is killing us. So... we don't have fortress stacking. Yeah, because that's just not going to be enough. And then we just die. Well, I guess that's the end of the run and part one. Yeah, and I don't know. I think the starting deck is like, we don't have a focus is a lot of the problem. We need to have a better like long-term game plan, because like this was a deck that I think just kind of drifted forward without a plan, and that just isn't gonna fly. We are playing too many cards that don't do enough, is the other thing, and we don't have anywhere near enough of a payoff right now for the spell weave. So I think those are our main issues with this list. I do want to come back to this, but not immediately. So that's going to be it for this time. I will see you next time. Until then, toodles.